Hello friends and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this quick snap video, we will learn about placement of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn for Pisces Ascendant. So when Pisces, which is the 12th sign of the zodiac, rises in your chart, then Capricorn falls in the 11th house. So this video is also about placement of Jupiter in 11th house for Pisces rising sign. So when we have the Pisces as the rising sign in the horoscope, then Jupiter becomes owner of two of the most important houses in the chart. Because first of all, Pisces falls in the first house, which is owned by Jupiter, and second sign Sagittarius, owned by Jupiter, falls in the all important 10th house of your work life. And ascendant anyway shows your real nature, your mental and physical personality. So Jupiter for Pisces Ascendant, any placement of it becomes highly critical. And Jupiter is placed in the 11th house, so the house of gains and social circle will assume extra importance because of this placement. And in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is assigned few special aspects. Jupiter aspects 5th house from itself, 7th from itself, and 9th from itself. And these will be 3rd, 5th and 7th house in your chart respectively. So you see, Jupiter will have simultaneous effects on at least 6 houses, and that is direct effect. Indirectly, it will also control always your kids. Jupiter is the primary karaka of having children, and by that extension, Jupiter always shows the kind of bliss you have in your life. That includes your family happiness also. So you see, just one placement of Jupiter in this chart can affect really umpteen number of areas of your life. And in this quick video, however, we will talk about mostly some of the most important and practical aspects which you can see and feel in your real life. So let's begin with it. So let's begin by tackling the very first and prominent issue which people face upon seeing this combination. And that is that Ascendant Lord is in debilitated state. And that generally scares people. Many people understand the importance of Ascendant, that it is the sort of anchor and reference point for the entire chart. And when that planet becomes debilitated, it creates a lot of anxiety among people. But let me begin straight away by saying that Jupiter's debilitation in this case is actually not bad really. I mean, it is just as good or as bad as any other placement you will find. It does give many positives in life, along with some areas which needs to be worked on or protected, but that's just like any other placement. And if you are a person who really enjoys a lot of physical gain, people who love a lot of money, a lot of friends, going out with people, having large social circle, then this placement of Jupiter is actually going to be good for you. Because as far as external world is concerned, as far as your work life and your sensual pleasures are concerned, this placement does offer a lot. See, Capricorn is the sign of peak physicality. It is an earthy sign and shows all kind of earth related activities. And in Vedic astrology, earth related activities are basically activities which are required for making money, earning wealth, and in some ways having fun with that money as well. So what this debilitated Jupiter does is it gives you interest in many activities, more than one activity of earning income, more than one activity of livelihood is possible because of this. This Jupiter also is very good for earning knowledge. Now, earning knowledge meaning knowledge of the physical world, people with this placement, they may not be interested in philosophy. Okay, they will be, not inclined to be religious or spiritual, but, and when I say not inclined, I mean this position doesn't support a lot of philosophical inclination. If there are other placement in your horoscope, then obviously you can, but just talking about this placement does not like philosophy. It likes practical knowledge. So these people tend to get good educational degrees and degrees of professional knowledge which works in real life rather than philosophical knowledge. Okay, and even in that they will have varied interest. Like if the horoscope supports, they may study law, but at the same time also be interested a lot in, say, share market and earning money from there, or even invest in businesses other than their main source of earning. And one very important aspect of this Jupiter is, many times the elder brother of the person plays an important role in their life, especially in the career of these people. They tend to always get a lot of help from their elder brother, and if there is no sibling of the native, then sometimes some of the family member from the father's side, especially somebody who is elder than the gentleman himself, tend to prove very helpful in setting up their career path. And you can observe this actually in many horoscope with this kind of placement. Now let's quickly talk about some of the personal matters, some of the family and relationship related issues which are affected by this placement of Jupiter. So let's first talk about Jupiter's aspect on the 7th house, that is the house of marriage. And there is a very typical effect which this Jupiter causes. And to understand this, see, marriage, the formal and legal marriage, is ascribed in large part to Jupiter and 9th house in Vedic astrology, apart from 7th. And the reason is, when there is a formal marriage, legal marriage, socially acceptable marriage, you see the words. I said formal, I use the word legal, and I use the word socially accepted relationship. All these things are in some ways related to Jupiter in the 9th house. Jupiter is the primary karaka of all of these, and 9th house is the house which is related to that. So in any chart, according to traditional Vedic astrologers, if 9th house is well placed and Jupiter is well placed along with 7th, then it is always said that the legal marriage will happen easily and it will turn out to be a very fruitful relationship for both the people. Now in this case, aspect of Jupiter on the 7th house is actually not bad. As far as legal marriage is concerned, this aspect is something which should give you that. It should give you a good marriage, and if there are no other negative aspect, marriage should last long as well. However, there are two things. One, Jupiter is debilitated, and second, it is placed in the 11th house, which is generally known as house of gains, but the term gain here is used in very broad terms. The gain here means gains of all kind of things, not just monetary gain, but you can say gain of friends, gain of relationship, and so on. So what this Jupiter usually causes is, because of its debilitated placement and being placed in house of gains, the general thing which this Jupiter does is, it gives relationships very easily. It gives attractions or affairs very easily. However, it takes time to convert that relationship into a formal marriage or socially accepted marriage. And the reason for that is, See, the Jupiter is debilitated in the 11th house, so it increases gains. So there would be gains of relationships. There would be friendship with many people, and that friendship could be close and romantic friendship as well. However, turning that into a marriage usually takes time. So the marriage of people with this kind of folks is generally delayed than the normal time. And the same delay factor applies to expanding the family or getting kids as well. There is always some or the other kind of either delay, which could happen from the deliberate actions, people just don't want kids at that time, or because of some other reasons. But both the marriage as well as expansion of family generally takes time because of this placement of Jupiter. And another common thing, when that is even more likely to happen if there is any aspect of Saturn either on Jupiter or on 7th or 5th house, especially the 7th house, is that there would be a big age difference between the person and the spouse. And it especially happens in the case of female charts. In case of ladies, typically ladies with this placement, if there is aspect of Saturn, as I said, either on Jupiter or on 7th, then almost always the ladies or female get a partner who has much age difference than themselves. And friends, as I said in the beginning, there are umpteen number of things. If we really look into close details, we can get to know many other smaller, minute and significant details about a person's life. But we will try to cover them in detailed videos which I am planning to make. However, I do really hope you would have enjoyed and liked this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and share this video across. And I really thank you for being with me so far and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.